this short session we are focusing on spine mobility, and we are using a foam roller. We could use a half one, I think, but it has to be a round one, not half as in the middle. It needs to have the ability to roll. So if you position your foam roller horizontal on your mat, and then we're going to lie back over it, your upper back is supported by the foam roller. Legs hip distance apart, a gentle curl of the pubic bone back towards the belly button to have length through the lower back. Bring the hands behind your head, elbows in your peripheral vision. I am in an active curl up, as if I could curl up and away from the foam roller. Then I'm going to let my tummy muscles go. I'm going to extend over the foam roller, flaring open the ribs at the front. The elbows are still in your peripheral vision. Stay there for a breath in. And then as you breathe out, start to close the ribs down, curl the head up, back into your curl up position. Breathe in at the top. Out breath as we extend over. In breath, hold the position. Out breath, we curl forward and up. So every hold as an in breath, we move on the out breath. Notice when you extend over the foam roller, you have this space through the chest, opening through the heart center. If the elbows could reach up and back a little bit more, you also have length through the side body. When we curl up, there's still space between the chin and the chest. We're definitely not pulling on the head. Let's just do a couple more here before I start to add on. Now the next time you extend over the foam roller, please maintain that extension. The head is supported by the hands. You can open the elbows slightly wider. Lean over to your right side. So the left side will be lengthening more. You're in extension, then you're adding a side bend. Come back to the center. Lean over to the other side. So you're aiming your elbow towards the foam roller. And then you come back into the center. Once you're in the center, lift the elbows and not curl up. Let's do that again. Into your extension. Open the elbows. Go to the other side first. Side bend. Keep the head back. Breathe in. Coming into the center on the out breath. Over to the other side. Breathe in there. Return to the center. And then curl up. Let's do that twice more. When you lean over to the side, so I'm leaning over to the right, my left hip is still reaching away. Make sure it's not shifting up. Come back to the center, maintaining as much length in the side body, so you have that opposition of the sit bones going down, the elbow reaching up. We're going to do one more here, please. The next time you curled up in the center, your elbows a little bit more narrow than before. Maybe bring your feet a little bit closer to your seat, and then curl your hips up and away from the floor. So we want the hips at the same height as the shoulders, roughly. And then you're going to start to roll forward and back. So you want to stay on ribs. Go down to the lowest ribs if that's comfortable, suitable for your body, and then go up to the tops of the shoulders without going on the neck. It's just a gentle massage for an area of our body that can often get quite tight. Adjust your feet as you need to. 2 more. And then when you've done the last one, have the roller back in the position it was before, so in the center of your upper back. The hips are lifted to shoulder height still. Extend your upper spine over the foam roller. Depending on your flexibility, your head might reach the floor now. And then very slowly, lower your hips down to the floor, so that's quite a big extension in your lumbar spine. Once the hips are down, curl the upper body up. We're going to do that again. So a wave-like movement through the spine. Curl your pubic bone back. Start to peel your hips, your lower back away from the mat. Keep the hips stable as you extend your upper spine over the foam roller. Lower the hips down slowly. Once the pelvis is down, curl the upper spine up. Just 2 more of these wave-like motions. Out breath up, in breath over. Out breath, spine movement. In breath, of course, upper spine curling up. Still spine movement. 1 more. And then from your curled up position, we're just changing our angle. So maybe you want to lift up a little bit. And you are going to have the foam roller to the side of the ribs. So position yourself there. See whether you need to prop it up with something if it feels a little bit hard. Your knees are bent, your hips, your shoulders are aligned. Have your hands behind your head. Foam roller kind of just not in the armpit, but just down from the armpit. One elbow reaches to the floor, it's in contact with the floor, it stays in contact with the floor. The other elbow at the moment up to the ceiling. Bring your head back into your hands so you're looking straight ahead. Notice your top hip. Try and reach it away from you so you're actively lifting the lower waist further away from the floor. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, reach that top elbow in an arc-like motion down towards the floor in front of you. You're rotating towards the foam roller. And then you're rotating your chest up to the ceiling. I just had a very nice click in my back. I don't know if you heard that. Bonus. Out breath to curl down. Keep the spine long. Keep the pelvis stable. We're just rotating upper spine. You still have this feeling of the head being pulled away from you. Last one. And then when you're back in the center, reach that top arm overhead, a little bit of a side stretch. If it's feeling suitable to you, you can reach both arms overhead, rest the head down. There could be a cushion there. Just one more generous breath in, stretching through the top side of the body. And then lower the arm down. Use your bottom arm to help lift you up. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So position the foam roller to the other side. In that same spot, we are massaging the area to the side of the ribs. You're in contact with your intercostal muscles. They live between the ribs. So we're creating a little bit of tension release there. It's going to help us feel a more spacious breathing when we come to that. Align yourself again, shoulders to hips. Send that top hip away, and then the crown of the head is reaching forward. Both hands behind your head, bottom elbow slightly forward, so elbows in your peripheral. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, that arc-like movement, elbow, chest rotates. It's a little bit sensitive sometimes. See if you can manage it. And then lifting the chest up to the ceiling, rotating as much as you can through the upper spine without moving your pelvis. Either you breathe out on the way down and in on the way up, or just breathe in a comfortable manner, as many breaths as you need to. What does your body need? Back to the center, straighten top arm first with it, and then the lower arm, and then rest the head down. If the head can relax completely, so do grab a cushion if you need it. One more generous breath. And then bring the top hand down, prop yourself up, and then we're coming into 4-point kneeling. So when you're kneeling, the foam roller is going to be just like it normally is in a 4-point kneeling position, underneath the hands, knees underneath the hips. I'm going to start to roll that roller forward. I'm going to drop my chest towards the floor. My sit bones are reaching up. My knees and my hip joint are still lined up. I'm collapsing my chest to the floor. I'm looking down at the floor. Now think of a cat curl the pubic bone up. Start to flex the spine segmentally, curling up into yourself. The foam roller will roll towards you. You end up on your fingertips on the foam roller. Roll the roller forward. Lengthen the spine into a long extension. Try and keep those hips above the knees. Breathe in here. Out breath to curl up. Lift from your center. Pelvic floor, abdominals strongly engaged. The head draping forward as you look towards that pubic bone. 2 more here, please. Arms are staying straight throughout. So gently pressing down into the roller. When we've done that last one, you're going to come and lie on your tummy, please. Extend the legs. The foam roller is an arm distance away from you. Your hands, if that you need the long roller for this, definitely that would be helpful. Have the wrist joint, the side of the wrist, on the foam roller. Now wiggle yourself so you have space at the front of the hips, the legs a comfortable distance apart, and then lift the ribs, bring them underneath you so you're as flat as possible in the starting position. We want to maintain length in the lower back, so for me, I'm curling my pubic bone into the mat gently at the start. And then I'm going to start to glide my nose, my chin, my chest forward. As I go into an upper spine extension, the roller moves towards me marginally, maybe a millimeter. And then lengthen the spine forward and down. Out breath, segmental extension, helping to strengthen the muscles in the back of the neck, the upper back. Hold the position at the top, breath in. Out breath, lengthen the spine forward and down, those same muscles controlling the movement down, so it's still strengthening them. As you move your upper back up into extension, you might have to press your pubic bone or curl it up into the floor a little bit to maintain length in your lower back. So adapt in your body so you feel this exercise in your upper back between your shoulder blades. If it's the lower back, it's likely you've gone too high up or you're not engaging your center enough. The eyes are still looking towards the floor. We're aiming for an even extension through the upper back. If you sit at a desk all day, this really is something you should be doing every day at the end of that day. Normally when we sit at a desk and we hunch over, these muscles that are now being asked to work, contract. When we sit in a flexed forward position over a desk, they are being stretched into a long position. So it's very important for our posture that we do strengthening exercises. Try and counter the work we've done at a desk all day. Just 2 more here, please. And then when you've done the last one, leave the roller where it is. Bring your hands next to the side of your chest. Elbows reaching to the ceiling. Tuck your toes under. And then press yourself up into 4-point kneeling. Just a normal 4-point kneeling. Aligning the wrist joint to the shoulder joint, the knee to the hip. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl into a cat, actively lengthening the muscles that were just being asked to work in the previous exercise. And then sit back in space, maintaining this lift in the front of your body. Stay there for a breath in. And then we center the pelvis, the spine. You can look towards the hands. And you shift your weight forward. 2 more. Out breath to curl into your cat. In breath as you sit back. Out breath, center the pelvis and the spine. And then shift forward. One last one in your own time. And that concludes our session. I hope your upper backs are feeling nice and mobile and that you have a sense of easier breathing. See you next time.